Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We are here in 2021. It happened. We made it.
Yes, we did.
Isn't it weird to punctuate like an entire life experience by like saying, "Oh, well, it's behind us now." It was a year. I don't think it really works that way, but it's nice to pretend, right?
It is.
It feels good. How are you this morning? Tell everybody who you are, where you are, what you're doing, all of your new news for those that know you. Tell us everything, all the good things to start off the new year.
Oh, so wonderful to connect with you again. It does feel like, oh, I get to see your face.
Back in the saddle.
Back in the saddle. Good morning. I'm Michelle Smith, and I'm the owner of Transformation Yoga and the founder of Resiliency School. And Resiliency School is an online platform for creating community and exploring resources for building resiliency.
And you're doing something really cool right now. Explain what that is. You started it, I think, on, was it New Year's Day? You started your,
Yeah.
what did you call it? I love the way you called it.
21-day jumpstart.
Yes. What is that? How does that work?
Well, so I'm a nerd. I'm referring back to the 90s or 80s shows. So whenever I say it, I giggle inside because I think of a really emo Johnny Depp, Like,
oh, the best. Best Johnny Depps are the emo Johnny Depps.
Exactly. I was never allowed to watch. I was too young, but so now this is my shot. So for 21 days, we're just working together to build resiliency in three distinct chunks. And it's just really fun. I'm really enjoying it. And then the 8-week deep dive program starts on January 22nd.
Love it. Got to do that deep dive. And since you're far too modest to talk about it, I just want to shout out to the fact that you were just in Yoga Journal, which is kind of a big deal.
Thank you. My writing was published, and it's all about like what inspired the Resiliency School. And yeah, it is a good feeling. It's pretty cool. I don't think it's really sunk in yet.
Well, you deserve all the good feelings for how many good feelings you give everybody else. It's good that you're getting some good feelings back from the community. That makes me so happy. So, speaking of the community, let's bring us into the first Monday sunrise of the year, shall we?
Oh my goodness, you're right. January 4th. Okay. Beautiful.
Craziness.
Well, wherever you are, just allow yourself to be here. If you can, if you're in a chair, then allow your feet to be flat on the floor. And oh, that's weird. Feet flat on the floor, sitting up nice and straight and tall, shoulders back. Beautiful. And if you're laying down, then just relax. Let yourself fall into the supports beneath you. You can close your eyes or have a soft gaze. And we're just going to bring our attention inward into the breath. And this is where it all starts. In the breath. So let's begin to deepen our breath, inhaling in to at least the count of 4 or longer. Exhaling to the count of 6 or longer. Inhaling 4 or longer. Exhaling 6 or longer. And we're going to start our year off, our day off, our week off, this moment off with gratitude. It's always a really, really great place to come back to. And it's a very grounding force to just kind of take a moment to, in this moment, connect with what makes us feel grateful, all the blessings that we have. There really is quite a bit. So physically, we can think about our bodies and what we're grateful for, the miracles of our bodies as we continue to breathe deeply. Thinking about how when we're not focused on our breath, we still breathe automatically. It's not something we have to control or automate. It's not a system that we have to reboot or recharge. Literally, I mean, rest is always good, but there's something that just works outside of our control. Our heart muscle itself, the miracle of the highway of circulation within our body. We didn't have to design that. We didn't have to create plans for it or get permits. Think about the miracle of our lungs. How our body is able to nourish itself from the elements around us. The miles of intestine and digestive system that we have to seek nourishment and sustenance from what we consume. Just taking a moment to pause in the body and feel the awe and majesty and miracle of our physical vessel. Moving out from our vessel, just staying here, present, but just thinking outside the skin, just a few inches. What are we grateful for? Maybe it's the warmth of our environment or having a shelter. Maybe it's companionship, technology, our ability to connect with each other, our senses to take in, to hear, to smell. Taking a moment for just scanning right outside the physical body what we're grateful for. I'm so grateful to be sitting in my grandmother's chair, to have had it reupholstered recently, and to feel like her memory is preserved. I feel loved every time I sit here. Letting that just sink in for a moment as we continue with the breath. Moving a few more inches or feet outside of our direct area. What are we grateful for? What in your environment, in your home entirely, are you grateful for? Maybe there's a lot of love present, relationships that have been built up over time. Maybe there's little nooks and crannies of just pure joy that surround you, reverberating out into the streets and into our community. What makes you grateful? Keep breathing. Let that expand a little deeper into the country, into the world. What are you grateful for? And then lastly, we'll go through space and time. So thinking about what it is that you've been grateful for in your life experience. What opportunities are you grateful for, both past, present, and potentially in the future? And just pick one thing that you are just really, really grateful for within the realm of your entire experience. Just one thing. And draw that into your heart. The deep inhale. And as you exhale at the corners of the mouth, turn upward. Beautiful. We'll conclude our practice with an Om, Amen, Hallelujah. It's all good. Just some kind of vocalization. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale with a sigh. Good morning.
Good morning. That was so nice. I was trying to stay very present, but you inspired me so much. My brain was like, oh, I have to. We were just having this, me and my husband were just having this conversation yesterday where I listed out all of the good things in our lives, like bullet points. I was like, imagine there's a piece of paper and I'm just going to bullet point out because I'm a nerd too and I love graphs and bullet points and things like that. And they're just like, if we just, because there's so many things that can stress, and we're dealing with stuff, everybody's dealing with stuff that can stress you out all the time and,
Yeah.
you know, bring you down and just make you feel like the world's against you sometimes. And you're like, oh, you know, but I was like, okay, but look, like bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, all of the things that we're so fortunate to have, as simple as not requiring a permit for your heart to work. I love the way you said that. That's so great. Like, don't you feel like you have to ask permission for everything, and then
Everything.
your heart's just working? It's just doing it. You know, it's so great. So anyway, I told my husband, I was like, if we took just our bullet point of things that we're positive about and showed it to anyone in the world, they'd be like, you got it all. Just like you, if you listed out your good things that you've got, just the good things, and showed it to anyone in the world, they'd be like, you got it all. That's amazing. That's so wonderful. And I was just watching, not to like tangentialize, but is that a word? Let's make it a word.
I understood it.
Okay, let's go with it. I was just recently watching a movie which came out in like 2011 with Liam Neeson called Unknown, and I had never, it was unknown to me before that time, but it was an interesting movie. And at one scene, he goes up to the actress's apartment. It's in Germany or somewhere, and her place where she lived was in the attic of this building with horrible soundproofing. Like you could hear every noise, and it was tiny and crowded and difficult to get up to. You have to walk up all the stairs and everything. And she's like, I love it. It's home. And she had it decorated exactly for herself, you know, like nooks and crannies of that bring you peace and joy. And she's just like, they were laughing about hearing their neighbors have sex, you know, like you could hear everything, but they were laughing about it. And that's something that a lot of people not in the right frame of mind or in just a normal frame of mind would be like, oh, not again. these guys, you know what I mean? Or just like hearing, I don't know, feeling claustrophobic or whatever it is that people would feel in a situation like that.
Or feeling completely haunted by, you know, I want a bigger place and I want more and more and more. And why can't I have?
Exactly. And she's just like, this is I know it's small, but this is home. You know what I mean? Being grateful for whatever it is. Like our condo is so tiny. I really felt that when she said that. I'm like, yes. But there's just so much that we can be grateful for, and just remind yourself that that's out there, and that you're like everybody else. You see people on Facebook or Instagram living their best life. Well, they also have problems, trust me. So it was just such a beautiful, all of that rambling just to say thank you. Like that was everything, just to have to go from the micro to the macro, or the whatever we're saying here, to go from the smallest thing to the area around you and expanding that out. That's just such a beautiful practice, and it just made me so happy. What a perfect way to start the new year.
I have to say, it's my pleasure. So, a quick little story. My last dream of this morning was I was supposed to go to Plant City to audition for Metallica, who I love in real life, and James Hetfield was my boo. And I met him before, and I love him. And in real life, I want to see him again. So in my dream, I was so excited to go to Plant City to audition. And my sister called, and I got distracted by our silly conversation that somehow I ended up halfway to France.
As one does.
And realized that it would take me, I missed my audition. And I woke up this morning so angry. And I had to keep telling myself, it's not real. It's not real.
It's so great.
Right? And so like that, my point with all that is that like the gratitude process, because I mean, I have to unpack that at some point. Like, what is it about Michelle? Right? Because our dreams are very telling.
Yeah.
There's so many details I want to like kind of think on. But like the gratitude process kind of helps us shake things off and rein in the mind, because there's so much that we think is real that is just not real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But however, there was just a thesis published stating that there is a belief or an understanding or a
theory. I saw your
theory. Okay, about that your dreams are actually you in a different a multiverse, a different universe. Yeah. So in there's a very good chance that in a different multiverse scenario, you had to audition for Metallica and you missed it because your sister. Like I'd be kind of mad too.
I'm so mad.
But yeah, our brains are so like I've had scenarios, like I've heard friends saying that they've woken up and their spouse was mad at them because they cheated on them in a dream, and it's like it's not real. It's so funny how our brains really are so powerful.
Yeah.
And it is nice to harness it with some gratitude and all the good things. Love you so much. Thank you so much for, like, I know this has gone long today, and anybody watching this
We
is
had to
very patient. It was start for the year. Thank you so much. Love you so much. Here's to a beautiful 2021. To everybody watching, welcome to the new year. Let's get it started out right. Get all the kinks and wiggles out, and have a beautiful day, everybody. We'll see you back tomorrow.